Alice the Car Doctor back with another informative video. I have a 2016 Dodge Journey with me today. Customer is complaining about some roaring noise when she drives. I'm gonna show you guys, I've already diagnosed this vehicle, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of the diagnostic process so you know what to do. It's coming from the passenger rear, so I'm gonna go ahead and jack that up now. I've already got my tubes laid out and the parts too. Of course, this will be a lot easier on my lift, but my lift is occupied right now. I always use a jack stand because you can't trust hydraulic jacks. They can just come down at any moment. All right. So, in order to test for a wheel bearing, there's two ways you can do it. You can check for play, which this one doesn't have any play. The next step you can do is spin the wheel. This is a front wheel drive vehicle. Some of them are going to be all wheel drive. If it is, you will have to lift all the wheels up and put it in drive and let it spin itself up. But since this is a free spinning wheel, you can just spin it. Come closer so the camera can hear. That's what she's hearing. A lot of roaring and stuff going on. So that's a bad wheel bearing. So I'm gonna proceed to take off the wheel, show you guys the next step. Now, if I would rate this job, 10 being the hardest, 1 being the easiest, I would say this one is a 5, yeah. The next step you're gonna wanna do is take off the bracket with the caliper. So you're gonna take off the whole assembly, and that appears to be an 18. Yeah, 18. And these bolts can be very tight. This one wasn't. Get an overhead shot so they can see where the bolt's at, Tariq. Could you go grab me your light? Can you see? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's one word. So there's one. You don't want to get it confused for the caliper bolt. This is the caliper bolt. It's like a 13. You're going to be removing the 18s today when you're doing this job. And the other one is beneath here. So. Too lazy to go get a bungee cord, but if I had a bungee cord, I'll loop it around here, loop it to there, and kind of keep it out of the way. Okay, now that I have all this taken down to this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start undoing my ABS or speed sensor wire because the new one comes with one. Do that, and I'm gonna need a flat blade screwdriver to get that off. So I'll be right back. So to get one flat blade screwdriver, I'm gonna try to undo this clip. Hopefully you saw that. And you're just really following it. There's something else back here. I think it's a bracket. Yeah, that's the bracket, but it's back here, hole in it. You're probably not gonna be able to see it on camera. Yeah, it's a bracket holding it. So there's a bracket directly, it's a bolt that holds a bracket that's directly behind this. It's like a 14. Right there. Okay, you saw that on camera. Great. And I'm gonna try 14. I think it's actually a 13, but the 14 got it. Yeah. Again, people, if the tool is wobbling like this inside the socket, do not use that socket. Use the right one. It should look like this. Don't be like me. It should have just a small, minute amount of play. Not like that can strip out the bolt. And we don't want that. Okay, I had to take it off from here. It kind of like slide on, like so. I didn't slide it on, I kind of just like pulled it out, but when you're putting it back on, it should just slide right back on. Oh, it's right here. If I can get it. I'm not really giving a good example, but trust me, it slides on. Bam, like so. All right, so you're gonna have a security pin on this. You have to push that out like so. Now you can actually push the release, hopefully. Sometimes there be so much dirt on this stuff, it's hard to operate it. And this is one of the instances. You can see all the dirt. All right, now hopefully it'll work now. There we go. All right, so it's one last little push pin, which is right here. So take your flat blade screwdriver and just pry that out. Or some pliers. Pliers would actually work better for this, but I don't feel like getting none, so I'm kind of suffering right now. All right, got that out. The last step, you're gonna have four bolts behind the spindle assembly. Once you get those 4 bolts out, let me see, can I grab the light? I don't know if you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you guys saw that. I'm not sure the bolt size because I can't see them. They're probably like a 14. Not a 14. Not a 15. Appears to be a 16. I'm gonna switch to a 16 deep. The last one didn't want to come out. All right, after you got all those out, it should just come out with the pull. Well, not a pull, but like an up and down motion. Now, if it don't, if some reason it don't, that means your car done came up north and it has a lot of rust, and so you would need a hammer, and you probably will have to bang on it. I'm being lazy again, sorry guys. I don't feel like getting my hammer, but you get the point. With the hammer, you just tap, 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 and it should eventually come off. I got it stuck. How'd I do that, Alex? Good. There we go. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do is get some anti-seize and clean this up a bit, so the next person won't have a hard time removing it, because you never know, the next person may be you. All right, so I'll be back with the correct stuff. This is anti-seize. It does what the name implies. So clean down our surface. Just with a regular rag. You don't have to use any brake cleaner or anything like that. And take your anti-seize, just spread a little bit, don't need much. Now it's up to you if you want to do this or not, but like I was saying, the next person may be you. Taking it off again, and you don't have to seize up. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Do not forget your shield, your splash shield, so make sure you put that back on. And kind of hold it like this, because you don't want to put it on and it's like that. You mess up the ABS wire. So I like to thread all my bolts back up by hand first. Then I take my socket, because it's easier to turn. Run the bolts up with a socket on it. Now what I'm doing with my other hand is taking it and pushing this forward. That was on the first bolt I ran up. I don't have to do it no more because I've already ran the first bolt up. But I pushed it forward so I can run the first bolt up. And I could have easily took my impact gun and did this, but I'm doing it by hand for you guys today. I know normally when you see me, I have my little impact gun running stuff up. Now, tightening these up, you want a good little amount of force so you can actually use your arm to tighten it up. If I don't get crushed by the brake caliper. That's why I was mentioning before, you might want to tie it up with a bungee cord so that won't happen. So I'm a big fan of, when you're first starting out, use a torque wrench and look up the torque specs for this, because you just can't go wrong. You won't be guessing at anything. You will hit it right on the nail. But you know, for you guys, for you professionals out there who kind of knows what stuff's supposed to feel like, you can do it this way. Alright, so the same as before, I got this. Alright, now for the spaghetti. It comes with a little push pin. You push that back up through there, like so. And came with a new one of these. Come on, stop acting funny. There we go. So I'm doing this blind, but it goes like so. Now there's a little pin that's helping me out. It goes in this little hole right here. If you can see where my finger is pointing. So hold the camera right there. I'm gonna show them. Sticking that pin through that hole. And then you can kind of look through the hole. Oops, go this way. And that's how you know when you got it right. You can lock this back if you want to. Now, I should just took this off from the get-go, but I didn't because the new sensor come with this. And it looks like I'm gonna need some pliers after all. Back with the pliers. Show you guys how easy this is with the right tools. Come on. Okay. So if it want to be difficult like this, you can always just take it and just push it straight in. Bam. Perfect. Now, I can proceed to putting my rotor back on. Now also, I do need to notate something here. If it was a all-wheel drive, you will be dealing with a axle nut. So you will probably want to bust. You have to bust that loose. This one's not all-wheel drive, so I really can't walk you through that step. Because there's two ways you can do it. If you had a big, nice, heavy impact, like I did, it'll just run the axle nut right off. It's normally like a 30 millimeter or 32. Those are the normal axle nut sizes. And you can just bust it right off. And it'll still be similar, but the axle will kind of be in the way getting to these bolts, but you can get to them still. So I'm gonna move on, I'm moving along. I'm gonna continue buttoning everything up. Next step after that is putting the brake pads, getting the brake pads back in between the rotor. Grab my 18 millimeter. All right, on this bracket bolt, you kind of want to put your body into it a little bit, because you want those very tight. And that, good people, is how you install a wheel bearing on a 2016 Dodge Journey. If you have any questions, please write me in the comments. Putting the wheel back on is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to show you doing that, but as you can see, it's nice and quiet. It's nothing wrong. The little noise that you hear now is the brake pads slightly rubbing on the rotor, but it's nothing crazy. That's how it's supposed to sound. Please like and subscribe. Alex the Car Doctor out.